G'day guys and welcome back. He's happier there. Ow. Today we're going to be diving into upgrading, sprucing up and sorting out my lace monitor's indoor enclosure for the winter. So this has been a long time overdue, so make sure you hang around to find out how we turn this to this. So Trico, my lace monitor, I think he's about a year and a half old now, and you can see the growth rate on him. He's getting big, and he doesn't like being held. I don't handle him all that often other than when I'm doing stuff like this. When he's outside, it'll be a different story. I can get in there, hang out with him, spend a little bit more time with him, get up close and personal, but that's a story for another day. So essentially, this is going to be Trico's last enclosure upgrade for this coming winter. And throughout the winter, we'll be working on aviary outside. As soon as springtime comes around, we can move him from here out into a big, beautiful outdoor aviary. And that's going to be a long-term solution for him. While he keeps growing, eventually he can move into a pit, a big outdoor pit with a tree in the middle. And whew, wouldn't that be epic? First things first, we got some maintenance to do on the actual enclosure itself. Give you a quick look. As you can see here, this is starting to pull apart. Got a little bit of water damage here, a little bit there, and this is pulling apart up here. So I've got some screws and whatnot. I'm just gonna actually screw this together with actual screws. But it has these little toggles. They work, but I want it a little bit more sturdy. I absolutely love this enclosure. Reptile one, 1200 by 1200 by 600, and I love it. I absolutely adore it. So to work on the shell, I actually have to empty this entire enclosure. That's going to be a bit boring for you guys to see, so I'll see you guys back here when I've got an empty shell. So what's going on there? Guys, just as I'm pulling everything out, I want to show you, if you can have a good look in there, you'll see all the woodies, all the wood roaches, little cockroaches living in amongst this enclosure, and they are everywhere. You'll see them as I pull all this up. There's big ones, small ones. They're normally over here under the water bowl. They get in under the bark, and they're a constant food source. Oh my lord. Might have to put my hat back on, eh? They are a constant food source in this enclosure. It's just fantastic enrichment. He'll have to go through, stick his tongue in, and then pull them out of all the little cracks and crevices that they're in. And I do want to try and salvage all of these guys, because I think there's thousands in here. Once I put all this substrate in here, I'll probably try to put like some fruit, some carrots in, and try and get them to come up into some container, and then I can salvage them and maybe start a little woody breeding colony. That's the plan anyway. We'll see. We'll see if that happens. It'd be dumb just to waste them, even if I catch them all and give them to my mates that keep tristas, beardies, smaller species like that. Anyway, let's keep getting the rest of this good stuff out. Alrighty guys, we are down to the crux of the original design. You can see the last few woodies running around. So I just wanted to show you, if you guys didn't watch the original video, I do need to say, the original enclosure was full of trees, plants, it was super green, there was more branches. And being a big bad lace monitor, he's just destroyed it all. Hence why we're doing this right now. The original design. So this was the basking platform, which worked really well when he was a bit smaller. With the one basking lamp there, he was able to get entirely underneath that. So all that was is a nice big log with 2 support posts screwed in with some form ply underneath to support it. And then once that was covered in the 100mm thick layer of substrate, that did not move at all. I'll get that out of the way and I'll show you the background. For our background, essentially the same sort of idea. So a bit of form ply along the bottom, and then into that we screwed all these logs, all these timbers to recreate a bushy sort of forest background. It works so well. Yeah, he absolutely loves that. He climbs all over it, he goes behind it, and it just makes the whole enclosure usable, and that's what we want. We've got this huge space, we want to use the entire thing. Let's get this out, we'll give it a big tidy up, and then we'll start on the shell repairs, eh? We are now empty. It's obviously dirty, we'll give it all a nice big wipe down.
First things first, sorting out these cracks. Yeah, you can see it there. You can see the gap through there. Up there's doing the same thing. So I've got some little black screws we're gonna, oh, that's coming right out. There, I've got some little black screws that are gonna go in there, and any other pieces that I think may be an issue. And once it's real tight held together, I'll give it a big wipe down and we can re-silicon everything. So you can see here, the silicon's actually completely disappeared along the bottom. So that makes sense why there was water damage there. I don't know if maybe, I see, that panel's dropped. So this bottom panel is actually suspended. You can see there's a gap between the bottom. So that's just lost some of its strength there. So all we need to do, we'll just do a nice big thick bead of silicone. So even with that movement, it's not gonna go anywhere.
Alrighty guys, if this is something that you're gonna do, and I do recommend it. Ooh, it's raining. It's just gonna keep everything much more sturdy. I recommend drilling a pilot hole. So you wanna get yourself a drill bit, a little bit smaller than the gauge of your screws. So for these, I've just got some nice black screws with a little button head, so hopefully you won't see them too much. These are 40 mil. To be honest, I probably could have gone with a 30 or 35. This is gonna be a bit sketchy to not drill out the side of my thing here, to be honest. I'm gonna have to try and drill as straight as possible, which when you're doing this, you really wanna make sure you are drilling straight, because if I pop out the front face of this, I'm gonna be absolutely filthy, like filthy. But we'll give it a crack anyway. And now, with our pilot hole, beautiful. Our screws should go in super duper easy. Doing it with an impact driver, you just got more chance of going wrong. So you're better off getting yourself a screwdriver, but we don't have time for that here. So, and that has closed that gap up the top very nicely. It's all a bit bowed and bent because of the water damage already, but not bad. What screws did I get just for you guys, so you can do this better than I did? I got 10 gauge screws, so 5 mil screws. I got a 3 mil drill bit. I probably should have got a 4 mil drill bit. So yeah, that's just a little tip for you guys. That's closed up super nicely. One down the bottom, and then we'll go up to that corner, and that'll probably be all we'll do, because the rest is holding together fine. Maybe put one up there. We'll see, we'll see. And there we are, successful. We haven't popped out the side. Got nice closed gap, and they barely even notice. You'd never even notice. If you did, you'd think they're meant to be there anyway. How good is that? I'll get this top bit done. You don't need to see me do another bit of that. And I'll see you back with some silicone. So, look at that. Nice, beautiful, brand spanking new enclosure. No gaps, no cracks, no crevices. Except for in here. In here where we need the silicone. I'm just gonna put a nice big thick bead along the front here and up the side where it's come apart. The less I do, hopefully the quicker it'll dry, because I've had enough for today, to be honest. So this is good timing. Hopefully this will dry overnight. Yeah, we still got silicone, baby. This is silicone from last time. Hopefully it'll dry overnight. We can get stuck straight into fitting out this enclosure tomorrow. I don't think I even told you guys what actually made me start doing this. I've been meaning to do this for ages. Trico did a big diarrhea shit everywhere, all over the enclosure yesterday. There was shit everywhere. So I had to take the glass panels out. Long story short, I knelt on one. I cracked it. It's destroyed. I'm getting a new one tomorrow, luckily. Yeah, I thought may as well, while Trico's out, may as well take the opportunity to get this done for him. I really got to stop yapping and keep going. All right, let's go. Because I am doing it so thick, it might take a good while to dry actually. But I really don't want any more water damage caused. Because I do love this enclosure and I want it long term. Any ideas for any species to put in here once Trico's outside, let me know. And how's that for timing? The timer's just gone off for all the lights, which must mean it's time to pack up. We've got a nice thick bead of silicone. It ain't pretty because we did it pretty last time and it didn't do the job. So we do it ugly and hopefully it will do the job. So we'll let that dry overnight.
I'm gonna go pick up our new door, our new glass door in the morning, because I bloody stuffed that up, and we'll hopefully see you tomorrow and crack on with the fun stuff. Hey guys, so our silicon's all dried up and we can get stuck into things now really. First things first, because I need to drill and cut. So we're gonna end up with some metal down here. So while it's empty, I will be installing our second heat lamp now that Trico is much bigger than he was when I first got him. Essentially, I got this little thing from, it's a little Reptile one thing from Kellyville Pets. Basically, it just goes up there and it holds the lamp in. I'll work out a nice little gap and I'm just gonna drill a hole there and put it right next to the other one. That way it'll allow for Trico to sort of be that entire length there. A nice even thermal gradient heat source on his body. Bear with me and we'll get that cut in. And now I've got a 70mm drill bit, which is gonna make the job heaps easier. I'm just hoping the teeth don't grab it and just shred the shit out of it. But there's one way to find out, isn't there? Some dust on top. Woo! So it is cutting. I'm just going very, very slowly because the last thing I want to do is cause myself another problem and rip this entire mesh. Easy as that, eh? Now to put our heat lamp in. So basically I just bought a whole new fitting. The light fitting came just as it would, as you guys would all be super familiar with. So to take it out of there, you obviously have to disconnect it and put it back together. So you want to make sure you put the right cables back in, just in case you ever get your finger in there, you don't get a little shock. So your brown one's your active, your common, your main power supply. Just put a little mark on there so you know which way to put the cables back in. We've got our little red thing, which is going to hold us in there. If you ever do have to pull any of this stuff apart, put it back together, this is your most important thing. It's electricity, it's dangerous. You want it done properly, you want it done safely. You don't want any issues coming up at all. So double check it's in there nice and tight, triple check if you have to, and they are in there beautifully. I was holding that there for absolutely no reason. That might be the go for anyone watching. If you just buy just a lamp holder, you can just unscrew that, slide your little spacer in, and then do your lamp holder back up. And then all we need to do is sit that in there, feed that through the hole, screw him back up. That's probably the easier way to do it. Bang. And voila! And then comes with 4 little screws with 4 little holes. So you want to put them through. They're going to go up into your mesh and make sure it doesn't go anywhere. You guys don't need to see me do that. And there we go. Lamp in there. Beautiful big basking area for our lace monitor. The other thing I'm looking at now, guys, is this is where our UVB was before. It's going to be very, very close to that heat lamp there. So I may have to sort of do it on more of an angle like that, but we'll deal with that bridge when we get to it. Right now, I'll clean out the bottom here, give it a good vacuum. We'll put our background back in, and then we can start working on our actual platform. I'm gonna have a crack with 2 75-watt heat lamps, because that equals the 150, which I had in. If that's not hot enough, we'll go 2 100s. And we'll just work out how high or low we want that to the heat lamps, and then from there we do everything else around that. So I'll see you in a second. Alrighty, it's been a few days and I really need to pull my finger out, guys. I need to get Trico back in here and get this done. I'm bloody hopeless at this stuff, I just gotta do it. I've put in my 2 heat lamps and my stool is pretty close to the perfect height that I wanted. I've got 2 75 heat lamps. And they're these new lamps that I actually really like. They're from Get Your Pet Right. They're very similar to the Arcadias. I haven't used them for super long, so I don't know how long they last. But very, very similar to the Arcadias, which I love, and very accessible. They got them at Kellyville Pets. Don't have to order them online like these fellas.
So yeah, I'm getting about 50 degrees there, which is perfect. You want 50 to 55 for your lace monitors. But I do think I'll probably drop this down a little bit. So I might end up putting two 100 watts in, which will give us 200 watts up there. And that'll be smoke, and that'll be incredibly hot. We'll get him moving around a whole lot. But in saying that, we could also leave the 75s, keep it a little bit cooler for winter. We'll just see. We'll see what works. The other thing, this is pretty close to the exact size platform I'm gonna make. I'll probably go a bit skinnier, but a little bit longer. But that's a good template anyway. I'm gonna go chop some timber up, chainsaw some logs for some legs, and I'll see you outside. Basking platform. So basically, these are our legs for our basking platform, and these are the feet just to hold it up essentially. It's also going to be buried in 50 mil of substrate, and that gets packed down, and this thing ain't going to budge. So just to make it a little bit easier for yourself, because you're drilling into, screwing into timber, which is never easy, just drill a couple pilot holes, just like in our enclosure. And that's just going to make it a world of a lot easier for your screws to go in. Now I'm just going 3 screws. One's already in. And 3. And there is stand number 1. I've grabbed this piece, thought that'd look pretty cool. So we make one more stand, and then basically voila. It's gonna look pretty Mickey Mouse, I reckon. All right, I'll make up this other stand and I'll see you back putting the top on. All right, there is our 2 stands. Oh, it's pretty flush, pretty good. I'll basically take them inside now, and I'll sit them in the enclosure so we can make sure we screw this. What's happened here? I swear one of these sides were black. I swear of it. Unless I cut off the good side. Oh. God, I'm dumb sometimes, eh? I did everything I could to not cut off that black side, and I've done it. Oh well, I'll put a lick of paint on it. But yeah, we'll go inside, and I'll sit this exactly where it's gonna sit before I screw it down. It's gonna look something like that. Should end up being pretty, yeah, that's gonna be sturdy as buggery, guys. Yeah, let's go sit it in and we'll see how she's looking. Oh, he's good. He is good. Oh, couldn't even see anything. Oh, the chair fell over, that's why. Nearly lost me bloody camera. Imagine that, lose another camera doing an enclosure. Alrighty. Now that edge doesn't actually look too bad. I won't bother painting that. Now, oh, let's turn these bad boys off because I'm cooking. 1 and 2. We obviously want this middle. Still want a gap in front because I'm obviously gonna have sticks and stuff going up to it. Probably a hollow log like I did before. Essentially want this right in the duck's guts of the lights. I think I'm liking that because I've still got a gap up here for him to slide down. It's probably too much of a guts now to do that. All right, I'm gonna fix this down, and then we've got one more thing to do on the basking platform. And voila, I've got 1 screw in each side. I'm gonna put 3 in, obviously, just like the bottom. And that's sturdy enough as it is without the substrate and what other sticks and stones I'm gonna have holding it up. But I'm gonna take this outside now, put the extra screws in, and then we've got 1 finishing touch. Now the finishing touch for our basking platform, we obviously want the lizard to be able to climb up, grab on, and pull himself up. This stuff's just slippery as buggery. There ain't no way he's hanging on to that. So I've got these old fence palings. Here's a little shorter one that I'll cut to suit, side by side. Ignore the mess in the background. There's the girls. Yeah, I'll cut these to suit, screw them on, and then ready to go in the enclosure and start the easy stuff, the decorating. how much shit that thing flicks. Look at that, completely unintentional. They're the exact same length. I couldn't have done that if I measured it. Now, something a little bit unorthodox, but there's reasoning behind it. So we've got these 30mm screws here, which obviously going to go in there and not pop out the top. And I'm going to drill from underneath because I don't particularly want the Phillips head, the top of that metal, under the heat lamp. Because imagine how hot the head of that metal would get directly under a heat lamp. It'd burn you. It could potentially burn the lizard's belly. Probably won't, but I'm not taking any risks. So screw that up from underneath, put a few screws in each side, and then we're ready to go. Voila, one basking platform. She's a little bit on the piss, but I'll just pack her out once she's in the enclosure. I'll take her in, I'll see you in there. I'm back. I've just put Trico in for a tester and I think he approves. Oh, what do you reckon, bud? How much better is that gonna be for you? That's actually pretty much perfect snout to vent basking spot there for him. That is perfection. And that's gonna be perfect for the next 4 to 5 months over winter. Summer comes around, we'll get him outdoors into an aviary. This will do you for the next few months, buddy. Lap that up, spoiled bloody thing. Hey guys, so it's a new day again, and I just want to update you guys. I've just been fiddling around this morning. So I've just put these packers, they're just window packers. Again, this is because I didn't get that perfectly level. You could probably wiggle it around in the substrate to get it, but I've just put some packers underneath, so now that's sturdy as buggery. It's not moving anywhere, and perfectly level both ways and directly in the duck's guts of the heat lamps there. So that's going to be our perfect basking platform. Now these 75s are actually getting hotter than I thought they would. It's getting to about 40 degrees. So once I put the 100s in, that's going to be perfect. It's going to be up around that 50 degree mark. Just because there is the big gaps underneath, I'm just going to bring in a bucket of sand and scoop that underneath to get rid of that gap. And then we can start mixing up our substrate and getting that in. I'll just try and get all this sand right underneath that just to prevent any movement. Now I've actually only got one bag of sand. Last time the substrate I did was predominantly sand, but this time I've got 2 bags of eucalyptus mulch, 1 bag of sand. I did a really deep substrate expecting him to burrow down like the sand monitor does. He never really made a burrow. He's just sort of flick his substrate everywhere, make a big mess, flick it out the glass. Perfect, let's go mix up some substrate. So looking at the substrate I took out, you can definitely see I used a lot more sand. In saying that, the wood roaches have also eaten away a lot of the mulch and it breaks down into sandy stuff over time. You should see all the woodies that come out there at night. It's full on, eh? Got half a bag of mulch here, gonna mix some sand in. We'll mix it up, we'll get a layer going on in the enclosure. Then from there we can start decorating. I'm actually gonna go release a snake in the meantime as well, because look at that. It is a stunning day and he's ready to go home. That video will probably be out next week or so. A little golden crown snake, couple red bellies. I'll shut up and start mixing up some substrate. And there we are, substrate in. So a mix of Bunnings eucalyptus mulch and play sand, easy as that. To be honest, it looks pretty good. You could go a bit more of a mix of some sand. You can put some potting mix in if you want to plant some plants. It's really up to you. You can play and experiment and get it how you like. But that's looking pretty good. So I'm gonna go release that snake and then we can work out what else we're gonna put in. Hopefully I can get a hollow log here somewhere for him to sleep in. Probably a couple branches coming up here that he can lay on and bask directly under the UVB. Water bowl obviously there. Hopefully a nice lush green plant there. Maybe a plant there. And I want to get that stump back in because it's full of woodies and then they'll just start breeding in the new enclosure. But we're looking pretty good. We'll be back to it shortly. I'm terrible, aren't I? Alrighty, we're back. It is time to start laying out everything
we need inside. So first things first, we got the water bowl. Water bowl's obviously gonna go there because we want it as far away from the heat light as possible. Otherwise the water's just gonna disappear from all the heat. So we'll make this a little bit more level. Water bowl. Alrighty, his hide. He somehow still fits in here, believe it or not. So I want the hide on the warm side. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Really struggling to make it fit here because I'm sort of in two minds. Now he's getting big, I want him to have a bit more room to actually just walk around rather than traverse and get through everything. Tricky to make decisions. Alrighty, I'm having so much trouble trying to choose where everything goes. I've just drilled this in, so I've got my hollow log there. I really want this in because it does look cool, but it's taking up so much room. But I think this is going to be okay, and I'm going to try squeeze a plant in here somewhere. If you guys have watched my other enclosure videos, I've got these grass plants growing in the paddock, and I'll go dig one out. You guys don't need to see that, you've seen it a million times. And then from there we build up. Obviously this is basking here, but we're gonna want to put some branches up there. So yeah, let's go get some plants. I really couldn't find any. They're all gone. I got this gungy looking one. It doesn't look very good. I think sort of behind this is gonna work best, to be honest. Ugh. You're looking at me. I think behind here is going to look best, to be honest. I'm going to move that around, and then hopefully the green will just drape either way. Because I do want to keep this in because the woodies live in it, and it's good. Bear with me. I don't even know how you can watch anymore. I'm going to have to set the stools back up. Now, all we need to do is work out where a couple of branches can go across here to fill out that area. If I can get something like that to stay somehow, that's a pretty good building block to then attach a couple others to. I'll be back, gonna go see what super duper long screws I got. So I think we're looking pretty good. I was trying to work out just something to go across here, just to fill up a bit more of this space. Something like this is just gonna give him a bit more to hang on to up here, which is gonna be pretty cool. Come sit up here, there you go, right under the heat light. Alrighty, beautiful. Now lastly, but most definitely not least, we need to move our UVB lamp from the outside into the inside. I can probably still use this bracket, I'll just have to move this bracket a bit more over here. Then after that we got one more finishing touch and then Tree goes back in. Nobody wants me to finish this video. I'm nearly there and the SD card's full. I go to put everything on the computer dies. It's getting late and I want to get Trico in today because I want to watch him in here before it's too late. With your UVB lamp, I always recommend get your T5, whatever brand. These ones are Reptile one with a Get Your Pet Right tube in it. This style is by far the best UVB you can get on the market. The LED stuff, I don't know if it's really there yet. I'm not a scientist, but we know this stuff works. I always just get the strongest UV possible, especially with an enclosure like this. The animal knows what it needs, it knows what it wants. If it wants strong UV, it'll go up. If it wants to get away from it, it'll go down. If it wants no UV entirely, it can hide. Basically the same with a heat source. Normally you want this sort of overlapping your basking spot. So when your animal's basking, basically it's also getting UV. You do need to be careful because I've put this too close to a heat lamp before, it's actually melted. I'm just gonna butt it up to the nub there where the cables come through. Gee, it's like 3 centimeters it's gotta go across. And I can't remember how hard these little screws were to go in. I don't know if I drilled it first last time. But I'm always going to recommend to you guys to pre-drill it. Because this is my enclosure. If I stuff it up, it doesn't matter. If I recommend the wrong thing to you guys and you stuff it up, I'll feel awful. So pre-drill everything. I'm just going to turn these heat lights off before I melt my face. Now the other thing I have to be wary of is Trico climbing on this. That's why it was on top, because he thought it would be a brilliant idea to climb all over it. And it ended up on the ground. Because as you can see here, basically I've got here to mount and here to mount. So that side's a bit like hangy, and he thought it'd be a good idea to climb up here, hang off that. He'll probably do it again. If he does, I'll just have to sort something out. Worst case scenario, I could probably drill a couple little holes and put a cable tie through there, but I'll just watch him for now. And now I'll bring our wire back through our bung into there. Then I'm gonna run outside, get some gum leaves, and we're done. We can get Trico back in. There we are. We have a look up here. So as you can see here, our UVB lamp on the angle. So when Trico's laying here under his heat lights, he's gonna be getting UV. If he just wants some UV, he can come lie up here. That's getting there. And then I'll also show you guys, I'm gonna reposition it. The initial plans were to have this inside the enclosure, but I never got around to actually putting it inside. A big LED light, and that's just great for visible light. It brightens up this enclosure so much, and I'll just play around with that to get the most visible light, daylight for this lizard. There's our 3 pieces of lighting, our heat lamps, our UV, and our LED visible light. And I'll just play around with this over the next few days. These are 75 watts, I've got 100 watts, and I've got 150 watts. I'll just play what gets us around that 50 to 55 degree optimal basking temperature. I'm gonna go get some gum leaves. I'm gonna go get some gum leaves, spruce it up, then we chuck Trico in. And I love always chucking gum leaves in. Not only do they look bloody awesome, I'm sure you all know how gum leaves smell. That eucalyptus smell. And these guys have better smell than us. He's always so enthralled, enriched when I put this stuff in. He's in there, smell a spider on that one. He's in there smelling it, flicking his tongue for ages, climbing through it, rubbing on it. And that is what we want. And voila. Oh, it's dark outside. Done as a dog's dinner, and I'm stoked with how this looks. Now, I'll get the last piece of the puzzle. There he is. Off you go. You missed that, I just got whipped in the eye. Yeah, look at him, he's getting ready to do it again. How's that, buddy? Woo-hoo-hoo! King of the house, eh? Look at you on your throne. Straight away, look at the tongue going. Flicking, flicking. I better quickly get some shots of this because he's going to destroy it very quickly. Look at him. There you go, on those gum leaves. And there you go, that's a perfect example of, you might not think these guys have great camouflage, but look at the blues, the blacks and the mottled yellows throughout his skin, through this bush here. You can't see it. All of our reptiles, all of them have just such impressive camouflage. Look at him go, just exploring everything. Oh, there's nothing better than doing this, guys. Yeah, you just love it. He'll be on a mission for hours now, won't you, buddy? He is absolutely loving it, and so am I. I'm so stoked on this, guys. Oh, this is a ripper. This is going to be good for him for the winter. He's going to absolutely adore it. You're not going to want to go outside with this enclosure, eh? He can still grow a fair bit and still have a lot of room to move in this enclosure, which is fantastic. Awesome, awesome lizard. The absolute king. Now we'll leave him, we'll rest him up. I've got some rats thawing out, so we can get those into his belly tomorrow, get him running around. I bet even tomorrow this won't look like this. These leaves are gonna be ripped down everywhere. Be interesting to see where he sleeps tonight. Leave you to it, buddy. Oh, you are a weapon. Look at those claws. Ooh.
Alrighty, it's a new day and there is the king on his throne. He is absolutely in awe of it. He is loving it. Little does he know, but he's about to get a big rat feed in his belly. Probably get too into him. You coming to see what's going on? You gonna see where your rats are? Oh man, isn't he just the coolest lizard? I've got the glass here, hopefully it's not gonna stuff up the footage too much, but you guys sit here and I'll be back with a rat. There he is. Doesn't last long, does it? Alrighty, I'll give him a couple minutes to get that down to the guts. Oh! Just lost me camera stand. Yeah, I'll give him a couple minutes to get that in the guts, and I'm gonna go try and see if Misty and or Slash will take one. Misty will. I don't know about Slash, but we'll try. Slash is even actually out. She's digging her burrow in the sand again. Oh, she's standing up. Look at that. She's tripoding. How cool is that? I've only seen her do it a couple times. Looks like she's building a burrow. Nah, she's not having a bar of it. She's cooled down. Not interested. Look at her flattening out that body to get the sun. So cool. She's got her whole body twisted to soak up the way that the sun's coming in up there. Oh, they're such smart animals. Look at that. She's nearly belly up. Soaking up all that sun. That is awesome. They do the coolest stuff. I'll leave her to it and we'll go get this into Misty instead. Look at that. Like a solar panel. Where is she? Can you see her? So cool. Now I know this girl's gonna eat because look at her. She's been following me back and forth waiting for her turn. Bear with me, girlie. I need to be careful here, otherwise she'll steal me bag of rats, the plastic. Oh. That was quick, she's running away with it. Down the gob. Look at her getting ready to whip me too. Whoa! So unappreciative. Alrighty, we'll go get one more in a tree cut. Oh, you know I'm back, don't you? One more for you. You can eat it there. I'm not going to take it off you, I promise. I don't want it. And how good is that? Full as a bull. I got one more here. There's another warm day tomorrow, 20 degrees. I'll try and get that one in the Slash tomorrow, fingers crossed. I'd love for her to get a big rat into her before winter really hits, but she's gone down to ground. She's been underground for a couple of weeks already, so if she doesn't eat, she doesn't eat. It's not the end of the world. If not, I'm sure this garbage guts or probably Misty can get the last one, so no stress there. You're not getting the third one. The whole reason we're doing this is because I've let you feast on too much barramundi and you shat absolutely everywhere. Alrighty, well, that's pretty much that, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If there's anything I missed, any other recommendations you think could go in here, anything else you want to see, don't be shy to chuck it in the comments. This was well overdue. The next time you see Trico will probably be when he's moving outside. When he's moving outside for the next season for spring, summer. We'll probably get some little feeding videos in the meantime, but other than that, he's just putting on a show now. Other than that, make sure you guys have hit the like, make sure you're all subscribed. They get so many people watching that aren't subscribed. But anyway, that's that. As always, I'll see you next week.